Reese, what's up, Reese?
Hey,
How you doing?
so it got wild in here last night, huh?
Yeah, it got wild in here last night, but it's never
Damn.
going it's never going to get wild like that ever again in my
I'm
life.
kind of sad I missed it.
Whatever, if people have issues, if people have you know, problems that they need to resolve, they're going to resolve it on their own accord, and it's not going to be on my live no longer.
Damn. So you had people beefing with each other and not with you.
Not with me. No.
Damn, that's crazy.
It was
Yeah.
Queen and another man named Kane. But when two people like, and I had them, like I always do, I had them try to come up here and respectfully go back and forth. And at
Mm-hmm.
one point in time, Queen thought that he was being condescending and just being rude, and called him a misogynist. And other women in the comments felt the same way, and
Yeah.
he had people there that were defending him. So it just wasn't
Productive.
good. It was 200 people it was 200 people in here. Like
Damn.
damn near none of my mods were in here, and it was a lot of people like spewing negativity. Kiera, what's good, girl? Long time no talk. How have you been?
That's
Um,
crazy.
and people were threatening to pull up on other people.
Oh my God.
People were threatening to take other people's lives. Just the craziest stuff in the world.
Jesus.
Like never again though.
Do
We
none
back
of you have
back to regular story.
children? That's unconvinced. I mean, I agree. Yeah. When you have unconditional love with a partner,
Hold on. Let's get
it
into it.
makes you. Yeah, yeah, get to it. Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we about to start the show. And I know it ain't that serious, China Doll, but hey, internet thugs and keyboard warriors. Let's get into
Right.
it, Reese.
All
Is
right, let's do it.
infidelity a deal breaker in relationships?
You cut out a little bit. What was that?
Oh, my bad. Is infidelity a deal breaker in relationships?
Yes,
Why?
because infidelity isn't a mistake. That is a conscious decision that you made. You
So,
made that
go ahead.
conscious decision.
So, I know that you're not married, but let's hypothetically, Reese, you're married,
Mm.
you still have your kids that you have now. Um, is it worth breaking up the family? Like this man has been, up to this point, up to you catching him cheating, he has been nothing but great and loving to you, and he's been everything that you've ever wanted in a partner. But you caught him cheating this one time. Is it worth breaking up the family? Um, is it worth breaking up the family just because you caught him cheating one time?
Yeah, because he broke up the family when he decided to put his privates on another person. Yeah, absolutely. You broke our vows. We are married, and you are to only be true to me, and I'm only to be true to you. You broke our vows. So who am I supposed, like, what do I look like sitting here going, "Oh, okay. All right. Just this once." No. Those are vows that we took.
Okay, okay, if that's how you feel, okay, all right. Unconditional love is not real. True or false?
Are you speaking in general or for relationships and marriages?
In general,
Yes, it is true.
really.
Yes. The love that I have for my children is completely unconditional. The love that I have for my man, um, I stand by my saying, I want you, but I don't need you.
I want you, but I don't need you.
Exactly. I want you here. I want to, I'm choosing to give my all to you, but I don't need to do that to you. Now, my babies, they grew in me, you know?
Hmm.
I gave life to them. That is truly unconditional love.
Well, okay, let me put it to you like this. So we know you have two kids and you love your kids to death and you take care of your kids. But
Hmm.
you know, you can acknowledge that there are women that, bear children for 9 months. And when those children, when they give birth to that child or those children, they don't take care of those children. And you can acknowledge that there are children, um there are people out here that have a lot of resentment for whether it be their mother and or their father, and they don't love their parents. You can acknowledge that that does exist, right?
Are you talking about like shitty parents and then those kids grow up to be like, wow, my mom was a piece of crap and so was my father?
Not even grow up. I mean they've their parents didn't take care of them. Whether they had parents that they actually did grow up with but they neglected them, whether they
Hmm.
had parents that gave them up to the foster system, or they were adopted, you can acknowledge that those people do exist. And because of that resentment that they hold, whether it's because they felt neglected or whether it's because, despite whatever their parent may have been going through at that time, they didn't keep their child in their life. You can acknowledge that there are people that don't have any love for their parents at all, right?
Yes and no, because see, what I think with men at least, a common misconception is if a woman becomes pregnant and she gives that child up for adoption, it's because she's lazy, she doesn't want a parent, but that might be her way of showing her unconditional love because she knows that she cannot give that child anything and everything that she feels that that child deserves. So that is her way of showing her unconditional love. But absolutely, I mean, that goes hand in hand.
We gonna come back. We gonna come back to what you just said. But if you believe that unconditional love is real, I'm assuming that, like, when people make a decision to get married and do get married, and like you said, they take those oaths before God. If they truly unconditionally love each other, shouldn't they be able to get through whatever hard times it is that they're going through?
Yeah, it
That,
depends
that
on
they're,
how hard those times are. I mean, you have to have your boundaries. The man
but
and the woman has to have your boundaries.
but
Hard
even
times
without,
doesn't mean hard times doesn't mean that you get to, the moment the ring goes on your finger and that marriage license is signed, that doesn't mean that you get to tear my life upside down just because I took vows with you.
I agree. But
And, I don't get to do the same thing to a man just because I put a ring on your finger and said I do doesn't mean that I get to tear you emotionally and then be like, "But our vows, you can't leave because our vows." No, that's not how it works.
okay, if I feel if two people love each other unconditionally, that shouldn't be happening. But what if one person or both people are unintentionally doing things that the other person is, they don't like, it's not favorable to them. If we truly love each other unconditionally, yeah, we have boundaries and things of that nature, but we should be able to work through whatever it is. I think we should be able to
Oh,
really
yeah.
give max effort to work through whatever it is that we're going through. So if we have unconditional love for each other and we have kids, and I step out on you, if you really have true unconditional love for me, are you, like I said, are you going to just break up the family, or are we going to try to find out, like, hey, why did you step out on me, and and try to get to the bottom of it, and resolve the issue if we really have unconditional love for each other?
I think that this is a person by person type of situation because, there's a lot of people in these comments that are saying love is conditional. Um,
China dog, could you please mute? Oh, thank you. Go ahead,
oh,
Reese.
thank you. Sorry. There's a lot of different things that go into this, but to fall on hard times is different. If my significant other was treating me in a specific way or even talking to me in a specific way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable enough to be like, "Hey, wait a minute. That's not okay. I don't appreciate what you're doing or I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me. This
Mm-hmm.
is the way that it makes me feel."
Uh-huh.
Communication is key. Communication is everything.
Yeah.
But you made a conscious decision to go behind my back
Uh-huh.
to at least hide from me
Uh-huh.
a whole nother person.
Uh-huh.
No, that is a deal breaker.
But you love me unconditionally though.
No, I don't. I love my children unconditionally. That's what I'm saying for me. I love my children unconditionally. A man is replaceable. My children are not.
So there's okay, so a man is replaceable. So if a man steps out on you and cheats on you, you're no longer interested in being with him. Is there anything that your children could do to you that will like have you look at them sideways, like in just violate you in the worst way possible? Like, because you would think that your children would have unconditional love for you too, but the reality is that, like I said, everyone's parent and child relationship is not like this. Sometimes the kid feels neglected or resents the parents for whatever reason, and sometimes the kid grows up and does their parent like extremely wrong, and they just sever ties. Like, we can acknowledge that that's a reality in our world, right?
Oh yeah, because I did that with my biological father. We have absolutely no relationship. Um, Supposedly, I'm his only child. I might have a brother out there from him. Um, but we have severed ties years ago while I was still in high school.
Right. So,
Yeah, that happens. There's not a lot of things. There's hardly anything that my children personally could ever do that would make me do that to them. Um, Child abuse, that's one.
but
I'll love
Reese,
you from your jail cell. I'll love
you
you
have
from your jail cell, but no.
you have young children though, like, so you really don't like the same way. We're not going to get into why you feel the way you feel about your father, but like, you acknowledge that there are children out there that feel that way. So how does unconditional love really exist if, like you said, you want your man, but you don't need him, and if he does certain things, like you said, you're saying that there are deal breakers for your relationship. Like, we're not even gonna talk. If I cheat on you, you're not even gonna try to talk to me and figure out why I cheated on you, or get to the bottom of things and try to resolve it. So how is there conditional love?
That's conditional love. I mean,
Unconditional. If I said conditional,
yeah, you said that's why I was
my
confused. You
bad.
said
How is
conditional.
there unconditional love then?
You know when people say when you get older where you have these experiences you'll understand. I'm afraid to say, but this saying is very pertinent to this conversation. Um, it's for the people who get it, and they get it, and the ones that don't, they don't. When you have children, that is pure unconditional love. You don't understand what love is until you have children. Um,
But,
Again,
but Reese, if
boyfriends and girlfriends and fiancés and husbands and wives are a dime a dozen. You could be married 12 fucking times, but I can't replace my son 12 times.
Right. Why are you shaking your head?
hold on, Jonathan, hold on. But Reese, if like you said, if when you have if when you have children, when if you have unconditional love for them, why would you neglect your child then? Why would you give up your child to, like, a foster system or somebody else to take care of them if you have unconditional love for them? And then we'll answer this, and then we'll move on to the next question. Reese,
Um,
okay, I couldn't hear you for a second. Because I don't think that's showing any love to your child at all.
okay.
Because
Like you
because
said, give it
no matter, no
how could
matter
you
how
claim
hard of a
it's
no matter how hard of a time you're going through, you should be able to have I mean, your life hasn't been all peaches and cream, right?
hell no.
You've
Hell
had
no.
extremely hard times too, right?
Yeah,
But you still deserve to be here, and you still deserve to be here, and be loved, and have other people, like, care for you too, right?
of course, yeah. So
So
I will answer your question.
go ahead.
Um, I know what you're talking about when you say like, a mother gives her child up to the foster system, or I'm telling you now, there is no lower point that a mother can be when she's in a domestic violence shelter interviewing parents with an adoption agency ready to hand her baby girl over. And I changed my mind at 7 months because I couldn't do it. But I was that mom because here I am in a shelter. What do I have to give my daughter? How is it fair for me to bring another life into the world and I have nothing? It happens and it's okay. It is okay. And that is a way of showing unconditional love to your child. If you truly are in a scenario and in a situation where you know for a fact that you would not be able to do right by your baby and raise them in the environment that they deserve, and this is the way to give your child a better life, that is not an easy decision to make. That is your way of showing unconditional love for your child. And there's ways of doing it. You know, there's open adoptions where you're still involved in your child's life.
Hey, that's why we're here to have the discussion, Reese. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. I think what you just said is subjective, because if you ask me, I'll respect my mother a lot more and love her a lot more by being in the shelter with her and going
You
through.
can't.
Well, okay. If I can't be through the shelter, then she gonna have to figure it out. Whether we move in with family. I would rather struggle. I would rather have my mom tell me when I got of age that this is how we were living. This is where we were at when you were this months old, and I would respect her more and love her more than to give me up. But that's just me.
I mean, again, this is a scenario where you're not a father yet. You
But
will understand. I'm not saying that your point of view and that your understanding of this would change completely, but your views on it might shift a little. But when you're a father, you will understand a little bit better. So what
okay,
were the other questions?
yeah. Let's move to the third one. So the third one is a woman should be responsible for majority of the financial responsibility in relationships. True or false?
A woman should be responsible for majority of the financial
Yep.
responsibility.
She should be. Yep. It's not like if she wants to or if she minds it. She should be. True or false?
This is a very odd question. Wasn't
It's not a
your
question.
last couple of lives the other way around?
It's not a question. It's a statement. And you're gonna tell me whether you think it's true or false, and then you're gonna tell me why.
I think it's both.
So is
It's
it
all
true or false?
it all depends on how the family dynamics and what works best for that relationship. I mean, there's no one. Okay, is a man should be responsible for a majority of financial relationships, right? True or
This
false?
this is your opinion. I'm asking you.
But I'm
I have
asking
a
your
statement
opinion too.
there, and
Constructive
I have
conversation.
yeah, I have the statement there, and you're telling me whether the statement is what it is. You're telling me whether you think it's true or false.
I think that it can be true and it can be false. It depends on the dynamics of the relationship. Now, I think that you should be financially stable and 100% financially responsible for yourself before you go into that relationship. Yes. But then when you're together, do what makes your relationship work best.
Okay, all right. And then the last question um, is emotional cheating just as wrong as physical cheating?
Yes,
Why?
because it's the first step to the physical. What's going to stop you from going from emotional cheating to physical? Emotional is you're thinking about it, you're entertaining it, you're texting, you're DMing,
Mm-hmm.
you're you're building that bond
Mm-hmm.
with another person emotionally. So what is going to stop you from moving to the next step to physically? If my man has to hide him messaging and emailing and DMing another woman,
Mm-hmm.
it's cheating. If I have to hide it from him, I'm cheating.
But I'm so, but you, like you said though, you see that being just as wrong as physical cheating though.
Yes.
Okay, but let me ask you this. So I mean, and you know, you've been married before, and you know, you have your man now. Do you have like a policy as far as like relationships that your man can have with different women?
My man has many female friends. I'm not the type of person to sit here and question
Reese,
him
Reese,
unless he
sorry,
gives me a
sorry,
reason.
sorry, Reese. 1 second. Hey, Rex, China Doll is back. I don't know. She dropped off for a second. Rex, I'm gonna drop you and bring China Doll back up, and then bring you back up when Reese gets down. My bad, Reese. Go ahead. Go ahead, Reese. My bad.
Um, what was I saying?
You were saying you were saying you were talking about how your man does have
Oh yeah, he has female friends. He's allowed to have female friends. I'm not going to sit here and question him until he gives me a reason to. I've seen the way he interacts with those female friends.
Mhm.
There's been many situations where a female friend has texted him or called him and been
Yeah.
like, "Hey babe, can you get my phone for me? Can you answer that?" He has no problem with that. If his phone rings and he's not able to get to it, he told answer it. Do me a favor, grab my phone. Hey, who texted me? What they say? I have
It,
no reason to.
hmm
I have no reason to doubt. And but the moment that that doubt comes in, I
hmm
give you one warning. One warning. This is how I feel. This is what I'm seeing. It's really shady. If I continue to feel this way and then I get proof from it, you're gone.
would you be cool with your man having respectful relationships uh with his exes, or even women that he may have previously been romantically involved with?
Mm,
Uh,
I wouldn't say. See, this is kind of tricky because
we here to have the
this
conversation.
plays into I'll be honest. I will be 1,000% honest. This
Be honest.
doesn't play into do I feel as if he's going to cheat on me because he previously slept with that woman 10, 15 years ago and it might happen again? That's more of like my crazy kind of turning in my head, those wheels turning in my head. That's going to make me believe that. Now, as far as, he has a baby mama. Okay.
Yeah.
Woman is trash. Um, no, I have no worries whatsoever about him and that woman whatsoever.
But I'm asking you, are you cool or not cool with your man being having respectful relationships, still being cool with some of his exes and people that he's been romantically involved with? Yes or no? Not just not just pertaining to, like, like you said. I know your current man has a mother of his child, but I'm just saying, like, if if he was with such and such a couple years before you, and him and such, they didn't end on bad terms, they're still cool, they still have a cordial relationship.
Mhm.
Are you cool with him being cool with her, and communicating with her? He was in a full
Yeah,
blown
I think I would be okay with it as long as it was clear the parameters of their friendship or cordialness or whatever you want to call it is
yeah,
clear cut
yeah,
and that is communicated. Again,
right,
communication. If
right.
that communication is there, I don't see I don't give a damn. I have way
Yeah,
too many things in my life to worry about whether, is he talking to Stephanie again?
yeah,
This is the fourth time she's called this month. What's going on?
right.
I don't have time for that shit.
Okay. All right, Reese. Hey, Reese, it's always love. Thank you for coming on. I always appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, have
No.
have a good night, Reese.
You too.
All
Bye.
right.